Good morning and welcome to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, right here on 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com and on iHeartRadio. Alongside Tracy Simpson, I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, welcome back to the hot seat. A huge week in the sporting world this week, and we begin our show this week with big news coming right here in our own backyard over at National Park College. A new head coach for Nighthawks softball has been named this week, and fans of the Nighthawks may realize it's a familiar face. Dory Cormier serves as the program's third softball coach in program history, a Louisiana native. Dory Cormier joins us on the show this week. Coach, congratulations. Welcome back to Nighthawk Nation, I should say. How does it feel to be named head coach of the Nighthawks this week?
Thank you. It's been awesome. I'm glad to be back in the softball atmosphere, the competitive atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to being head coach.
And of course, Coach, I say welcome back. You've been around this program for a number of years. You've served as the assistant coach for Autumn Wyatt in arguably the team's best 2 seasons in program history when it finished as Region 2 runner-up and Central Plains District runner-up. Why was it important for you to put your name in the hat when the head coach position came open?
Yeah, I'm just super familiar with how we run things at NPC, and I was looking forward to continuing on the success that Autumn Wyatt has left for us at National Park, and I thought it was a great opportunity to get back into the softball game. Taking a year off has been enjoyable, but it made me realize that I really do miss softball a lot, and I'm super looking forward to it.
Hey, Coach, with all your connections, of course, from the I'm going to call it the tri-state area with Texas and Arkansas and Louisiana, do you see is that a big to-do as far as coming back and being able to get some recruits from that area with your knowledge of the personnel down that region?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of talent in Texas, a lot of talent in Arkansas, and a lot of talent in they're a big softball hub, and getting those connections will give us a bigger opportunity to reach out and get those kids seeing National Park.
Coach, National Park College has forged quite the reputation in the past 4 years, really solidifying itself as the team to beat in Arkansas. How do you plan to continue that success coming in as the head coach of this program? And what might we see that's maybe a little bit different in order to help the Nighthawks get over the hump when it comes to postseason play?
Yes, so we have a lot of great, talented young women coming in this year and just enhancing their skills and building a lot more team culture and discipline in young women. They're very talented and enhancing their skills. At the end of the day, they are well-rounded, and I think that will get us to the next level.
And of course, Coach, one of the questions that we really didn't ask, you're coming in, you're named head coach of this team. It's June. We're in the middle of June right now. What's the first order of business coming in and, trying to get yourself established as the head coach of this program? First order of business and maybe some of the early goals you have with still a little bit of summer to go before fall ball.
Yeah, finishing up our 2025 recruiting class and getting our 2026 class on campus as soon as possible. I think that's the first order of business. And then after that, getting to know our girls coming in, building that relationship, building that connection, and really just going out there and getting all the recruits that we need to fulfill all.
And Coach, now we were talking about the tri-state area around that region. Here, even locally, we've got some kids that could come up and represent our area too, as far as helping you guys out with the conference, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. I think we do have a lot of talent in Hot Springs. And at that point, it's more or less if the kid or the young lady wants to stay in Hot Springs, and I would hope they would want to. I think we offer at National Park College a lot of benefits, a lot of programs, and staying close to home.
Yeah, of course, as somebody who knows wearing that hat as well, Tracy, we see student athletes come in. We kind of believe that if we can just get them on campus for a tour, they'll fall in love with the place. Of course, growing up in Oklahoma or in Texas or in Louisiana, sometimes the natural beauty just isn't there like it is here in the Spa City. So just the setting itself of campus in Hot Springs, I think, is a great recruiting tool on its own. But Coach, one thing we didn't talk about, you bring with you a number of great accomplishments as a pitcher from your playing days, both in high school and in college. This team is tasked with replacing maybe two of the best pitchers that it's ever had in Bailey Cowell and Gracie Fowler. What challenges do you see replacing some of those big shoes?
I think in what Bailey and Fowler brought to the table was that they had a lot of leadership and they were putting their heads down and just working hard. At the end of the day, they got what they wanted to get done and they wanted to leave a legacy behind. And recruiting pitchers that are more like Bailey and Gracie Fowler at the end of the day.
Coach, and of course we know what you guys had going on with Coach White. What aspects are you going to carry on the tradition that her winning always proved to be, instrumental in? Is there some things you took from her? Of course, moving forward from here, with you going to keep going with the softball over at NPC?
Yes, absolutely. Autumn Wyatt did leave her legacy at National Park College, and the best thing about Autumn and what she did was building those connections and relationships with travel ball coaches and college coaches and four-year coaches and doing all the great things, but also having that connection, that relationship with her players. That was her strongest suit, and I want to continue that as taking over for National Park.
So, of course, Coach, what is your coaching philosophy coming in? We talked about maybe some of the challenges that the team faces. Obviously there are some Oklahoma squads that have kind of always been the thorn in the side when it comes to postseason play. What do you think might be the missing piece that you can help bring to the table to help to get this team to its first ever national tournament appearance?
Yeah, I think that my coaching philosophy, and it always has been since I started in the college world, was trust the process and fall in love with the grind. Getting up every day early, putting your head down, working hard in the classroom and on the field, and the results will follow. I think for us getting past our Oklahoma schools will be bringing in awesome student athletes that are well-rounded and want to put their head down and work hard.
No doubt about that. And with the likes of, the Hawthorns and the Guillories, they're coming in now, and you're going to get some other stuff. There's a lot of talent around this region. It's encouraging to know that with the new coach, that sometimes that brings in some fresh blood, so to speak, you know what I mean? And the excitement's in the air already. We've already heard some of the schools talking about it. And you're absolutely right, Coach. There's a great campus at NPC. As we around here, we always brag on it, and we're excited to have you back right now, and no doubt. And we're encouraged to know that what the aspect of the way you play ball, and are comforting to know also about the kids and expectations about them, but also academics too. And I've seen that already prove a point from the way you acknowledge that. So we sure are thankful that you're back, and we wish the best of luck to you, Mark, don't we?
And I'd like to add on that as well, Tracy. So internally at NPC, I know that the softball squad in particular has earned quite a bit of bragging rights, if you will, serving as maybe the top academic athletic squad at NPC. Coach Dory, what's the plans in order to make sure that you guys don't lose your reign this year?
Academics is our number one priority because these kids can't play softball without getting to class and making sure they have the right grades and staying eligible. And so the way that we are going to do that is doing academic progress sheets, making sure that we are being proactive with their grades and having that open communication with their professors, and if they need to miss class and we have game days, making sure that they get ahead on their work and that we're not behind.
Well, no doubt about that, and I know that a lot of that has to do with the parents, thinking about where their kids are going and such like that, and who's going to be, the instrumental in their affairs from a day-to-day action. And I know they're comforting to know that you're the head of the program right now, Coach, no doubt.
It's got to be something to be proud of as well. Yeah. You mentioned the parent perspective there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that you want to send your child to go somewhere to play ball. Hey, the academics, they're pretty great too. Okay, I'm sold, right? So, Coach, right now, obviously, NPC softball in a really great spot, has been super competitive for years, numerous awards, numerous achievements, and now, as a whole, like, I guess I kind of want to get your thoughts on softball as a whole right now. It feels like the rise of popularity in women's sports right now, whether it's the AUSL, which has now been bought out by the MLB there. It feels like a really good time for softball right now, and allowing opportunities for those elite level players to continue playing the game they love at the next level. What are your thoughts on the growth of the sport as a whole right now?
Yes, I think this sport has grown tremendously from when I was playing younger till now coaching. I'm super excited where softball is going. There's a lot of big changes, and I've enjoyed watching it on TV and seeing the caliber of kids and the kids that have so much passion for wanting to play the sport. I think that's been a big change for softball, is just having the passion for it.
Yeah, and maybe that goes back to your motto, trusting the process. I know it's been a long road for softball players, old, new, and current, but it feels like the sport is in a really good spot right now. We cannot wait to see what you and these young ladies do this season. Congratulations on the honor, and good luck in year number 1.
Good luck to you, Coach. We appreciate it, and we'll be watching, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Coach Dory Cormier of National Park College Nighthawks softball. Great interview. More to come on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. We're back in just a moment on 92.9 KVRE.
Second quarter coming up.
And we're back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com and on iHeartRadio. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, for many months on this show, we've been discussing news related to NIL, which stands for name, image, likeness. Ultimately, it's the gateway for collegiate athletes to begin being paid for their services to athletics programs at various colleges and universities. I know you saw the news. Big news. Last Friday, the long-awaited ruling in the House versus NCAA case arrived, which now allows schools to begin paying their athletes directly beginning July 1st. This multi-billion-dollar legal settlement ends 3 separate federal antitrust lawsuits, all of which claim the NCAA was illegally limiting the earning power of college athletes. According to the settlement, the NCAA will now pay nearly $2.8 billion in back damages over the next 10 years to athletes who competed in college at any time from 2016 through the present day. Moving forward, each school can now pay its athletes up to a certain limit, that annual cap expecting to start around $20.5 million per school in the upcoming 25-26 school year, and that amount is expected to increase during the decade-long deal. One thing I do have to note, of course, in addition to those payments, those are in addition to scholarships and other benefits that the athletes already receive. Feels like a great time to be an elite level college athlete right now, right?
Mark, and that's the kicker right there. Let's go with this right here. Okay, real quick. You're looking at Power 5 schools, which let's just throw out there USC or Michigan or Alabama or even Arkansas for that matter. You know what it costs yearly to go to school there, and then on a 4-year program, which nobody goes in 4 years hardly. So let's just say how much money that is. And now on top of it, they're going to get paid a lot more. And we hear, say for instance, our head football coach saying that they just can compete with the other schools. And I keep bringing Alabama up simply because of the NIL, the money that. So along with that on top, you're absolutely right. It's a great time to be an upper echelon kind of athlete, to get not only a a full ride, which is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now on top of it, they're getting a check to go with that. And I hate to ask a question after making a statement or reply, but you were going on a scholarship. That's sort of like getting paid anyway. But now you're getting these millions of dollars, and I'm saying millions. You've seen the numbers, Mark. You're a number guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So with that all said and done, where does it stop? Why are they even going to college? Because these upper guys, they say that they're going to, go pro.
Well, for many of these student athletes, it's because they have to, not even necessarily because they want to. Back in the day, you had you had your LeBron James, you had your Kobe Bryants, and you had numerous other athletes. All my examples right now are NBA. I don't know why, but they were able to go directly from high school into the professional ranks. Hey, and those two specifically turned out to be pretty good. I don't remember if either of them did a concurrent college education while they were making professional money and millions and regarded as some of the best players to ever play the sport, period. But the reason people are going to college right now, kind of because they have to.
They're going to get that check.
Well, the professional leagues are requiring, hey, you got to do at least 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. Okay.
Well, what if the NBA, NFL, MLB said, hey, we require 2 years. We require
that's what
3
I'm getting
years.
at.
We require you to graduate. Boy, how that would change the game.
Well, how come this hasn't been brought up, Mark? They say they're concerned about the welfare of these kids, these young adults. Then why has that not been brought up in any of the statements that you've seen, that you've been read? Any of
Here's
these?
the answer. Here's the answer.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Elite level player, let's say Cooper Flagg, comes through, plays 1 year at Duke. He's projected to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. Right. I mean, the NBA could say things like, hey, you can't be eligible for the draft unless you graduate. Okay, so that means Cooper Flagg now has to play year 2, year 3, year 4. Let's cross our fingers and hope he doesn't get hurt or tear an ACL or bust an Achilles. Let's hope.
Right.
But hey, he's elite level player. Oh boy, he's going to go number 1 in the draft. Oh boy, we gave the number 1 pick to the Mavericks, and oh boy, look at everybody that's going to come watch us who are drowning right now. Look, the professional leagues aren't going to add more to it because it ultimately could sap their revenue. It's all about money. It's all about money.
That's all I wanted to hear. Okay, I'm done. That's all I wanted to hear.
So moving on. Okay, so we knew that a ruling and a settlement was going to come down. This has been waiting in the wings since April.
Right.
But in terms of that whole back pay thing, well, maybe not so fast. So the settlement approved this week will not put an end to the barrage of legal challenges that we will see. And we are already seeing those challenges coming in. Most notably, a big one. From who else but the federal government of the United States. Tracy, are you familiar with what is called Title IX? Do you know what Title IX is?
Of course we know what Title IX is. Not everybody else out
there.
Well,
our listeners may not.
Yeah, exactly.
So Title IX is a 1972 federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in educational programs and activities receiving federal funding. It ensures equal access and opportunity for all students, regardless of their sex or perceived gender. Title IX protections extend to areas like athletics, admissions, housing, and access to facilities. Okay, so Mark, fine. That's the textbook definition. What does it mean? Well, the problem here with this NCAA settlement that it, and I will say, surprisingly, doesn't seem like it considered Title IX at all during this lengthy ruling/approval process. Here's the shakedown. A collection of women's athletes have appealed the decision, putting these back payments on hold, seemingly, for now. According to the lawyers involved, the House settlement allocates $2.4, remember, we talked about almost $2.8 billion or so. The settlement allows $2.4 billion of that to go to male athletes. And according to the settlement, only about $102 million total allocated for female athletes. According to Title IX, that's a problem. And that is a huge problem. Further breakdown on the back payments shows that football and men's basketball athletes who received full scholarships to Power 5 schools from 2016 to 2024 are set to receive 90% of that more than $2 billion settlement there.
football, and men's basketball. Women's basketball will get about 5% of that total, and all other athletes, baseball, softball, men and women's soccer, swimming, wrestling, track and field, cross country, all of those have to split the remaining 5%. All 8 of the athletes, they're all women's athletes. They're all the ones that are filing the appeal. They're all part of that third class. Soccer players, track stars, cross country stars, swimmers, softball players.
Golf.
A lot of them played volleyball.
Volleyball. Indoor, outdoor.
Now, what I have to tell you is that the lawyers for the NCAA state that they believe everything is going to work out as ruled, despite the appeal. But no matter which way it goes, student athletes who are waiting for those back payment checks, they're going to have to wait a little longer. They're probably going to have to wait a lot longer because I see this appeal. Look, appeals processes take time. They take time. And I can guarantee you can mark it down. The Title IX appeal here with the disparity between payments to male athletes and female athletes, mark my words, it will go to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, absolutely.
And that process alone, going through all the appellate courts and everything, this is going to take years. Now let's talk about the other part of this settlement, which that was just about the back pay. But no matter what happens with that situation, come July 1st, which by my calendar is not very far from now, that decision comes literally weeks before that July 1 timeframe where schools are planning to start cutting checks to athletes. That process is still going to happen. And the tight turnaround time likely poses challenges to schools and conferences who have been waiting since April on this ruling and now must scramble to build the appropriate infrastructure to enforce these new rules. Hey, right, we got it all done. Hey, you have 2.5 weeks before you start cutting checks. And I guarantee you, those players, those commits, those signees that are hoping to start fall ball coming up, yeah, they're going to be wanting their money, and they're going to be wanting it pretty fast. Or else, guess what?
Portal.
And they'll go to the highest bidder who is ready.
Yeah. Who's ever in?
And we've talked about this before.
Too many times, Mark.
Financial strain is one thing. Now, the ability for these colleges and universities to do the revenue sharing directly is going to bypass a lot of middlemen and third parties and things. We've had multiple discussions where, the 50-50 raffles and a lot of the times it's gambling entities, it's casinos that are getting involved because they have the money to help facilitate as the middleman in between the NIL thing. I assume the casino entities are probably not very happy with this decision because it really just bypasses them altogether. I know even here in the state of Arkansas, there were bills that were being proposed. R.J. Hawk was proposing a bill coming out of Bryant to try to, have that. And I think ultimately as a good measure to bring in NIL money to Arkansas schools. But now they don't have to rely on those raffles. They can revenue share directly from the university and bypass that. In that aspect, maybe it's a good thing. But this is muddy, murky water. We knew that it was going to be. It looks like it's going to continue to be. And, I think it's going to cause a lot of problems going ahead. Shout outs to the players. I do believe that players should be compensated, especially elite level players who are being put up on billboards and banners and things. But sometimes for your Power 5 schools that have the money, absolutely, because these guys are mini celebrities. They're most likely to go in the draft, go to the next level for whatever sport they play. But what about the smaller colleges and universities?
You just took my thunder right
What about
there.
the junior colleges? What about your NAIA schools? What about your Division II, Division III schools? Good luck. It wasn't hard enough already to get players to walk in your door and sell them. Now, junior college is one thing because they embrace the idea, hey, we know we're a stepping stone. We're going to get you to your next level. But what about those NCAA Division II, Division III schools? I think about our GAC schools right here in Arkansas.
Right here.
I think about the NAIA schools right here in Arkansas. They've been, it's been tough competing for players already. Now, even more so.
Mark, and here's
They're losing players.
That's exactly
those
right.
schools
Those
now,
little guys, little guys.
Those little guys, in air quotes, are literally losing players to junior college who hope to succeed and excel at their level to just boost themselves past all of them to NCAA Division I.
Well, I know one thing, Mark. Okay. I don't know how highly you speak of these guys that run baseball and football, these commissioners in basketball. We know that one already. But here's my biggest question. Brian Seeley, okay, big MLB guy. What group got together and put him in charge of that? And you think he was cared about the welfare of these small schools? He was more concerned, of course, in the bigger part of it, making sure that like you said, the headline players, the upper echelon are going to be taken care of so they can be what? They can be prepped.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line for this. So they can be prepped to get ready to play at the next level.
Oh, yeah, because...
And that's all that is.
I mean, I know baseball has its minor league teams, right? But college is the ultimate farm system for every sport
That's
right
all
now.
it is.
And you kidding me? And if you think that these professional teams and leagues aren't even looking down as low as the high school level and trying to purport their influence there as well and direct people to certain colleges, look, the path is clear. Maybe not to Joe Random, you and me, but the path is clear to the higher ups and the higher echelons and the owners and the managers and the presidents. The pipeline has now been established. Now, what it looks like over the next few years, I think it's going to be dark, murky, muddy water for the many years. And it might require changes to personnel up top who are ultimately not going to get it right in the beginning. But there's a lot of kinks that need to be worked out. And maybe they do, and maybe it's quickly, and maybe it's not. But ultimately, I do believe that players should be compensated, especially for how much that the universities make off of their name, image, and likeness. Yes, but the playing field also has to find a way to be leveled to allow, one, more equality for female athletes, for women's athletes, because right now this settlement is anything but that. And two, allowing, or I should say disallowing the monopoly that NCAA Division I schools are going to have, because there's only so many roster spots and there are a ton of student athletes out there. Not everybody's going to get one. And it ultimately, unless you are the diamond shining in the rough, I think your chances now of advancing to the show, whatever sport you're playing in, if you have to do it from an NAIA perspective, NCAA Division II, Division III, I think your chances of continuing your playing days are significantly lowered as a result.
Well, Mark, you said it at the very beginning of this whole segment. You already said what everybody needed to hear, because you know who was part of this? ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, SEC. Did you hear me say the Sun Belt?
Of course they were.
Did you hear me say the Big Sky? No.
Nope.
They could care less. And you know that's the bottom line. And who's going to be the ultimate winner in this? You said this also at the beginning of the segment, because they're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, we're going to extend this out a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. You mean we're going to go to the Supreme Court? The attorneys, because every time that they have to throw this out and go to another appellate court, they get another check. And so they're going to extend it out as long as they can.
You know, I wonder if, and maybe we need input from the listeners as well. I wonder if, I mean, the NCAA has, I would assume, at least some power here. Wouldn't it be more profitable for the NCAA to keep these elite level players in the classroom for an extra year?
Mark, there's the writing's on the wall about the NCAA. I got news for you.
Man.
The writing's on the wall with them. You just hide and wait. Let's bring this back up after the 4th of July on our show. After the July 1 deadline,
Yeah.
We'll bring it back up and we'll see just how muddled the water is.
And you know, something, so I'm speaking out loud here, and this is typically how I go through most of my thoughts during the day. We need to.
He listens to himself a lot.
I do. Let's try to plan to get maybe a Division I athletic director. Let's get a collegiate athletic director on our show, and let's hear it firsthand from them. Some of the challenges that they might face from this coming up. Maybe we'll do that.
Sounds like a winner.
Homework.
Like a winner.
Hey, and also for our fans and for our listeners, let us know what you think about the growing NIL situation. Do you like the settlement? Do you think there's more problems? Do you have a solution? You can text us anytime at 501-915 1,300.
No, we got more coming, don't we? Sure. Is there something going on tonight?
I have no clue. Definitely not here, but I hear
Okay.
that Nebraska is hopping these days. We'll tell you more when we come back right here on 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com.
Third quarter coming up.
And we're back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, the hump is over. It's gone. That big Cece's Pizza roadblock, yeah, we got over it. Super Regionals, old news. The Hogs are going to Omaha. Or rather, they're already there. They're in Omaha because tonight at 6 p.m., the Hogs look to continue their quest for their first ever College World Series victory. Their opponent? Some team named Louisiana State University. Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Coach Dave Van Horn's Arkansas Razorbacks routed the Tennessee Volunteers 11-4 Sunday at a bouncing Baum-Walker Stadium in Super Regional play against Liam Doyle to earn their 12th trip to the CWS in program history. They're back in Omaha for the first time since 2022. Here's the deal. It's LSU, and many fans are a little bit up in arms about this, Tracy, about the bracket this week. The Hogs
you think?
and the Tigers. Arkansas is the third-ranked team, also the highest-ranked team remaining in the field of 8. LSU, number 6. Both of these teams are the two highest seeds remaining. Why are they playing in round 1?
Mark, I've asked this all week. Why is it that we had Tennessee and obviously if we go to the winners bracket, LSU all in the same bracket matching up? Did you see that with the ACC? Did you see that with any other conference? What you know what it is? Because they just want somebody else besides the SEC to win the dang thing.
Well, it kind of
I'm just saying.
Devil's advocate, it would have looked kind of cool if a Cinderella story UALR had beaten LSU like we thought they would, and then went ahead and taken care of super regional business. Hey, all I'm saying is that an Arkansas UALR matchup could have been really cool in Omaha. Could have. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
The NCAA does not reseed for the tournament. And of course, it's a subject that has been hotly discussed, especially in SEC corners this week. Here's the deal. There is an overwhelming consensus that Arkansas and LSU are the best two teams remaining in the tournament. Vegas told us before this thing started that Arkansas had the best chances to win the World Series. Look, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll ultimately believe it when I see it. But thanks for the heads up, Vegas, and thanks for the confidence, right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. The SEC has dominated the College World Series in recent years with 5 different programs. Tennessee last year, LSU in 23, Ole Miss in 22, Mississippi State in 21. No one played in 2020 because of COVID-19. But back in 2019, it was Vanderbilt. The SEC has dominated this for years now and could potentially do it this year as well because it really feels like no matter who wins this series, LSU, Arkansas, they'll still be the favorite to win it all.
Well, Mark, you know that they got a chip on the shoulder. You already know this. I mean, that was set.
For
that
sure.
was,
You kidding
that was
me?
set in stone before this tournament even started.
You notice how I didn't mention 2018 being an SEC winner, right?
Well, that's.
And I get it. It's a sore subject for Hogs fans. But look,
You think?
but here's the deal. You have to, it's been 7 years. You have to embrace your failures and turn them into successes. This Razorback team, to me, and I'm not a Hogs fan, I say it all the time, to me, is a better team on paper and in person than that 2018 team was.
1 out away. But you're right. You're right, Mark. And I believe that too. But once again, I've been saying this the whole time, the winner of this LSU-Arkansas game. And I'm not so much on the bandwagon either, but I am a follower of the Razorbacks in the state. And it's not
It's a great story.
It is. But I think that the whole emphasis is on one of these two teams will win the rest of it, and so much for the rest of them. They're just along for the ride.
Well, I don't know. There's Murray State being a Cinderella story, and a funny story this week.
Cinderella story,
I
baby.
saw photos being shared on social media of Murray State's stadium, and it is in complete disarray. I mean, there's holes in the outfield wall. It is an old analog scoreboard. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, maybe a boost to Omaha will help put some money in the coffers there to improve their facilities. Here's the deal. Will anything happen before the start of tonight's game to reseed the tournament? No. But could the uproar still make change? Could it still allow things to be changed in the future? Well, we hope so. I know the same situation occurred with the NFL this year, and the Detroit Lions making a huge stink about things, most notably after they lost out of the NFL playoffs. But could something be changed for the future? I think it's a great idea. They set the brackets, the way the things happen right now, they set the brackets in stone, and that's where they are, and they're transparent about it. The NCAA is transparent about it. This is it. Whoever wins this is going to play here. It just so happens that Arkansas and LSU are together. Here's the deal coming into this series. The Hogs carry a 5-game winning streak with them. And the hopes and dreams of Razorback fans, they're hoping to, embrace that loss in 2018 and make it to the top. Could this be the year that the Razorbacks and Coach Dave Van Horn break through? Well, I promised Alice I would talk about this. Tracy, I know you probably know about this, but this is something that's a little bit new to me. You ever heard about the Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge?
Oh, boy.
Everybody has, right? I'm the guy on the outside looking in. If you don't know about the Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge, it's a popular tradition at the Men's College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. Fans from participating teams compete to buy the most Jello shots. Each school has a color-coded shot. The bar tracks the total purchases throughout the tournament, and a portion of the proceeds are donated to local food banks. Okay, so why do we care? Okay, yeah, we talked about how alcohol and college sports probably don't mix. Why does it matter? Well, believe it or not, as a numbers guy, and it pains me to even say this on the radio, it appears that there just might be a correlation between who orders the most Jello shots and who wins the College World Series. Tennessee in 24, the most Jello shots, they won. LSU 23, same story. Ole Miss 22, same story. Mississippi State 21, same story. I don't know what COVID did to hurt everybody. Sounds like there's a lot of alcohol being consumed in recent years here, but the correlation has held for 4 consecutive years. Could that be the case in 2000? I can't do it. I can't say, all right, hey guys, drive to Omaha and just get wasted. It'll help the Hogs win. That's up to you guys to decide if this is real science or not. But I have to tell you that the math is technically there right now.
Okay, well, here's the kicker also, Mark, because we're going to bring up Vegas again, because Vegas already has a line on this.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Vegas already has a line on it. And so if you want to go, and of course, you can keep up. They do the leaderboard all weekend long. You know, they do that. But Vegas has already issued, odds on with the most Jello shots. And and they're going off of what your basis is. Arkansas was actually in the lead at one time. Okay,
sure.
So they're LSU's creeped up ahead of them now, but LSU is just, so many shots ahead of them. So if we want Arkansas to win this whole thing, you and I are going to have to take the red eye out of here as soon as we get off the air and go and improve their percentage and take the whole crew with us.
Oh yeah, sure. Send Mark up there. Yeah, absolutely. So
Who doesn't drink?
So your job will be to do the dirty work, and my job will be to make sure you don't fall off your stool.
Yeah,
or drive you back to the hotel or whatever. Go, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I have gotten pretty good as a DD over the years.
Especially
pretty good.
Especially for me at halftime. I'll be honest with you.
So about the matchup, LSU won the regular season series, for, two games to one back in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. The Hogs were able to salvage game 3. It was kind of a meaningless thing there. LSU really kind of had the advantage here. Razorbacks have breezed through the tournament, the perfect 5-0 record. LSU kind of had to make up ground running into a red-hot, out-of-nowhere Cinderella story, UALR, prior to sweeping West Virginia in the Baton Rouge Super Regional. What do you think it's ultimately going to take for the Hogs to take down a formidable foe?
Mark, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, if you recall. 2 weeks ago, we brought this up. The rotation with our pitching and also the lineup, we have to get it stabilized, but also they have to reflect each other in the manner that the way they're pitching and the way they're hitting. In that rotation that he implemented, after the SEC tournament has worked. It's a whole new rotation. It's a whole new lineup. And he's got to keep that same aspect of it. And I know the pitching depends on, who's coming out and who's really, on the mound, who's coming out. But as it is right now, he's kept that same reflection the whole time. Now, who he's going to start against LSU, well, it's already been named, but they changed it last time. Geckel was supposed to, and then here comes, Root. So we'll see what happens with that. As it is right now, I think that if he keeps the same lineup, he keeps the same rotation, we're in for a victory. But here's the kicker. We've got so many guys that are sitting down right now, not pitching, that are just been ready to go.
Deep bullpen.
And I think that right now is going to play because LSU can hit.
Yes.
I mean, there's no doubt about that.
They can.
LSU is a high-scoring opponent.
But Tennessee was as well.
Well, and what we do though, we used our fresh. We were, and I say we. I speak within the elephant in the room, but the Razorbacks were they weren't healthy, if you recall, at that time against that last series against LSU.
Yeah, they struggled.
They've got everybody in the bullpen right now ready to go, and I don't care if he pitches 2 or 20, because the game there's no time limit. And also, here's another kicker too. There's no run rule in this series. There's no run rule. You got to throw that out.
Yeah.
So, this is something that he's going to have to go deep. And, you're only going to play so many games. And I know it's a round robin tournament, but I think that if he's ever done the right way of doing things, which he's a great coach, he just hasn't won the big one. I think he's got to stick to his guns and do the same lineup. And then also, because they're dangerous, man, when they're hitting. You never know who's going to get a home run. The announcers all talk about that. But the rotation has to be, and the lineup has to stay the same, Mark. That's absolutely what I think. Absolutely. That's my deal.
Here's the thing about humps. You're over the hump. You're over that super regional hump. Now you're in Omaha. You can't just let your foot off the gas. It's not mission accomplished now.
No.
There's a bigger hump. There's another. The CC's Pizza hump has gotten bigger.
Whew.
It's going to require some climbing shoes and maybe some ropes and some tethers.
Different tires.
But if Vegas believes in you, and if the majority of fans on social media believe in you, why not believe in yourself?
And Jello shot.
Apparently there's math behind it.
There is.
There's math behind it.
Just ask Vegas.
Good luck to the Hogs tonight, 6 p.m. First pitch against LSU. Like we always say, game 1, massively important.
No doubt. You know the numbers on. All right, we got more. Believe it or not, we still have more, Mark.
Lots more coming up. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition continues in a moment on 92.9 KVRE.
Fourth quarter coming up.
For the fourth quarter of this week's show, it's our local roundup. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, the Hot Springs Wise Guys on the road tonight. They're in Duluth, Minnesota at 7 p.m. against the Harbor Monsters. You can catch the game live on YouTube by searching the Arena League. The Wise Guys fell for the first time this season. They took a 44-26 loss on the road to the Iowa Woo last week. Team trailed by just 8 points at halftime, 20-12, but could not turn the tide of the Lou. And unfortunately, some injury adversity as well for the Wise Guys, with Marcus Cody sustaining an Achilles tear, out for the remainder of the season. But best of luck to the Hot Springs Wise Guys on the road tonight. The team returns home next week against the Ozark Lunkers. Can't wait to be back in the Bank OZK Arena to see the team in action.
We had a lot of, replies coming off the last time. We had some people texting us how much fun they had at it, and that they will definitely support the team and go back. So a lot of emphasis on support because, being local here, and they need all the help they can get, of course, and being new with this league and everything like that, they've got to meet a certain criteria, and numbers are the criteria for them to substantiate going into next year. But so far, they had some really good, from what I understand, they had some really good crowds on the road this last couple of times, and we expect a big crowd when they get back next weekend.
Yeah, and Chris Goodman and Bones Bagante, they've done a great job at leading this team, not just on the football field, but in the community as well. The Wise Guys were the special guest for the Hot Springs Rotary Club this week as well,
right.
And that's really exciting for them. You see them out and about in the community taking pictures with fans. I was at baseball practice with River earlier this week, and some of the kids on the All-Star team are showing up, and they're wearing Wise Guys jerseys, like youth-sized Wise Guys jerseys. And I kid you not, saw it, have to have it. Got to have it.
No doubt.
Got to figure out how to get it. But I'm gonna put in a call to Chris. We're gonna make it happen because and I saw all the other kids. Whoa, you got a Wise? I want a Wise Guys jersey.
Right.
That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. Of course, they'll be back at home next Saturday to take on the Ozark Lunkers. I'm gonna be there. Hope to see you guys there as well because this is a pretty cool thing happening right now this summer here in the Spa City. And of course, I mentioned the All-Star game coming up. Of course, my son River was selected to be part of the Majestic Park All-Stars in the T-Ball League. We've made it to the big leagues here. So we're part of an elite group. And of course, it's not just T-Ball. It's all the age divisions in the spring league at Majestic Park who are now moving on to Bryant this upcoming week. It starts on Friday, 3-day tournament to advance to possibly the regional tournament down in Monroe, Louisiana. The best of the best is going to be in Bryant this upcoming week from all over the state of Arkansas. This is our first team delving into this all-star baseball / travel baseball realm. Maybe we're diving in head first. If you have some advice for us, let us know. But I'm telling you right now, River is about as good as it gets at this level, a 7-year-old level. He's super excited for the opportunity. Looks like they're going to be moving him to shortstop. He's got quite the arm on him, we found out this week. He played first base all year, but congratulations to all the All-Stars, whichever age group represented, and so many. I had a chance to run into so many dads from all sorts of schools represented here in the Hot Springs and Saline County areas. We're really excited for a big tournament with some big stakes on the line. Ultimately, this begins the route and the path to the Babe Ruth World Series, which will feature teams from all across the world. Guess where? Majestic Park, coming up in August.
Oh man, only the best advice I can get: hydrate.
Yeah,
that's the best.
It is hot,
and get as much rest as you can.
And our jerseys are black, and I don't know why.
Oh my goodness,
it was not my decision.
Yeah, maybe down the road he'll be able to play for the Arkansas Dizzies, huh?
Man,
who never knows.
Shout outs to the marketing group at the Arkansas Travelers, the greatest show on turf. The Arkansas Dizzies this week. I love Dizzy the dog out at the ballpark, of course. I spent a summer working for the Arkansas Travelers and the video production team, and I'll tell you, I learned so many great skills and had the opportunity to meet Dizzy. And fun fact, I have a Dizzy bobblehead, one of the OG Dizzy bobbleheads on my desk at work at NPC, but my understanding is that they've got a new Dizzy bobblehead coming out as well, showing pitcher Dizzy.
Don't give it out, because here's what we're going to do. For the next series that they come, I've got a family 4-pack. If you know what Dizzy is, what is she? Is she a collie, a German Shepherd, or a Golden Retriever? We've got a family 4-pack. You hit the text line.
Text us now, 501-915-1300. What dog breed is Dizzy of the Arkansas Travelers? Excuse me, of the Arkansas Dizzies.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Yeah, what is she? If you know that answer, go ahead and text it to us. Don't forget to put your name on there, and then we'll have you a family 4-pack next time the Travelers come in for some more, or the Dizzies come in for more. So on. Hey, a shout out to the owners and all the people involved with Sovereignty winning the Belmont. A big ride there, the last part of the Triple Crown series, and Horse of the Year looking like right now, Mark. Horse of the Year, maybe.
What about should Sovereignty have ran in the Belmont?
No.
Or in the Preakness? Sorry, in the Preakness.
No. Did exactly what you're supposed to do for the health of the dog. No doubt. Here, and the bottom line is, we'll never know. So you know what? As it is, that's what it is. But I'm going to tell you what, get ready, because we've got more of one of the best shows around because of Mark and all his capabilities right at the tailgate.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that's our show this week, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. We'll see you next week.
Game over.